Hi, Mark Nickerson, First Selectman, Town of East Lyme. Welcome to another show of, what are we called? Oh yeah, Issues and Answers, right. So, how about questions and answers? It's more like that. You know, there's not a lot of issues in town. We have a good team of great department heads and great people that you elected to be put into certain positions all around town. And the issues kind of go away when you have the right people working hard. But we certainly want to be your source for answers. So by all means, give me a call anytime at my office at 860-691-4110, or drop me an email at mnickerson@eltownhall.com. I just thinking the other day what a pleasure it is to be first selectman of a great town. I've spent a little bit of time recently looking over old photographs of our town. There was a cache of 2,000 or 3,000 old photographs from the original Niantic news way back when, and the old black and whites of Main Street with all the elm trees, or Hope Street with no buildings on it at all. And when the circus came to town and all that. We have such a rich history, and that Morton House stood there through it all. And I just heard this morning that flagpole on Liberty Green went up in the, it was like 1911. That flagpole was put up, and it still stands today. We've made some alterations a couple of years ago when it started to crumble a little bit. We've made some fixes to it, but that Old Glory has been waving on our Liberty Green since right around the First World War. So kind of cool. So here we are. We're taping. You know, we're middle of April, and you know, I saw snowflakes this morning on the way to work, and I'm like, it's so darn cold. It's the worst spring I can ever remember in my 20-something years. And I posted on my Facebook page the other day, the only good thing about this awful spring is that there's no lines at Dairy Queen. Of course, the owners of Dairy Queen contacted me and said, what do you mean that's a good thing? I feel bad. You know, I was a Little League coach for a number of years, and my little puppies, my little boys, they'd be cold. It would be 60 degrees, and we'd have them all layered up. Well, it's been in the 30s, in low 40s, and of course, down at those Little League fields, if you're a baseball parent, you know this. It's always at least 10 degrees colder there than anywhere else in town. Somehow the wind kind of blows right up the Patagonia River, and it gets cold right around there. Those poor guys. So layer them up if your kids are in lacrosse or whatever they're playing, softball, baseball, Little League. Layer up. Springtime, they say, is coming, and it's coming soon, and we're going to get our 70-degree days as that Gulf Stream thing switches. Now I sound like Al Roker. Earth Day is coming up, too, and that's a good sign of spring. We're going to have a big Earth Day celebration at McCook's. It's being put on by a group of volunteers. We're going to have bands up there. I know Steve Elsey, you know, he plays the music for the kids. The kids band is going to be up there. Steve's a good friend, and Bert in the band is as well. And that's on April 21st at McCook's, you know, middle of the day, 10 to 4 or 11 to 3 or somewhere in the middle of the day. Look for signs, look for posts on Facebook and other social media sites, and our town website as well. Little Leaguers, your opening day is the 28th. I'm going to be happy to be down there, as I always am on opening day. I know Senator Famika and his business will be honored, as well as I think another business, and it doesn't come to mind, but I know my good friend Paul will be down there. And May 5th, I gotta ask you to mark your calendars and support this cause. The Rotary Club of Niantic, a very proud service club in Niantic, will be putting on their annual gala. That's where they come up with all the money to do all the projects, and they always have a special project every year. And the project they're coming up with this year is the Miracle League Field. Now, if you've been watching this show, you know about the Miracle League Field. We featured Dave Putnam a couple weeks ago on the show, and hopefully you are paying attention to what's going on. We're raising, we'll be needed about $500,000 to put on this, to put together this field for those, especially children who have handicaps, whether they're confined to wheelchairs or leg braces or whatever, so that they can play sports too, and that their families can enjoy the camaraderie of and social aspect of bringing your kids to their weekly game. Like so many of us take for advantage, take for granted, I should say. So the Miracle League Field, it's going to be a wonderful thing. I go out and tell people that it's going to be the next boardwalk of East Lyme. We have a wonderful boardwalk, and it really completes our downtown. Well, I think the Miracle League completes our insides. It completes the soul. It really brings everything together. Part of the Miracle League Field is not just the patrons of the field, the users of the field, but it's the people from our community that will come out and help. It's the varsity baseball team that will come and help push the wheelchairs during the baseball game. And what they get from that is a life lesson of appreciation and gratitude, and also an understanding of what, of the blessings they might have and that others might struggle through. So what a wonderful thing that's coming to our town. I hope you support it. Miracle League of Southeastern Connecticut is a Facebook site. You can Google it, find it, donate money to it, but also come to causes. We had a trivia night a couple weeks ago. That was great fun. I might say that the Board of Ed, their team lost. They came in last place. Maybe not, but we've been knocking Jeff Newton and his crew. They came in close to last place, and my team didn't come in first place either. The Boardwalk 5K is coming up. That also is supporting the Miracle League. See, the whole community has to get involved to make this happen. That's on April 22nd. That's a Sunday morning, and we run from McCook's parking lot. We run through down Main Street and then back up the boardwalk. It's a good walk, it's a good run, and it's for a good cause. And as you know, we're building the Main Street Park. The weather's kind of delayed us a little bit, and the Cheney Park bathroom is also going to be built in time for the season for sure. We're looking forward to that. This is a time of year you go, here it comes. It's like the day after Thanksgiving is, oh, here comes Christmas. Well, when you get into mid-April, you go, here comes summer in Niantic, and here comes another great, blessed summer, filled with activities, filled with people just enjoying our boardwalk, our Main Street, our outdoor cafes, and all the events that happen in our town. But they don't happen on their own. It takes people devoted to making it happen. I have a devotee. A devotee.
There you go.
There you go. Joyce Beauvais.
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 Yes.
I'm not French. Joyce Beauvais, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you very much.
I've known you for a while now.
Yes.
I screwed up your last name. It's amazing.
Okay.
It's amazing.
It happens all the time.
Joyce, you have multiple hats. You have multiple titles. But your title today is Artistic Director for Theater Under the Shell.
Correct.
So the Theater Under the Shell started last year.
Yes.
Because last year we built a band shell, and we had an opportunity to not just bring music to our band shell, but to bring theater. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful to support the arts in our town, and you made it happen. You are the magic.
Actually, you did, because I took one look at that band shell and fell so in love with it. Yeah. It's so beautiful. It is. That I just saw a theater. I mean, I saw a band shell, and then I saw a summer stock pop-up theater, because it had the wood like the old-time summer stock theaters, and it's a magical location, and it's a magical structure, and it's meant to make artistic magic.
And you're the magician that made it happen last year. You pulled it all together. You have you have a big team. Yeah. You have all the volunteer people that step up and help you in so many ways, including being actors and actresses. Mm-hmm. But it also takes a lot of money to put this on.
Oh, it does.
We were talking about it before the show started. You said a budget of about $5,000 to put on a free, volunteer-based theater group.
Yeah, and we call it a pop-up summer stock theater because it would cost a lot more if we qualified it and said it was a real summer stock theater.
Right.
But it has all the makings and all the beauty and all the excitement and all the fun of live theater under the stars and with a set and lighting and sound, but all those things cost money, and a $5,000 budget is really a small budget.
It's bare minimum. Yeah.
It's bare minimum, but we can't do it without that budget either.
Right.
And so any of the kind folks of Niantic who want to help us we'll be happy to receive their help.
Sure. So we need, we were talking, we had a little meeting earlier, and we were talking about we need people to step up and say, I'll help you find sponsorship.
Yes.
Help you organize and promote as well.
Yes.
And we have a promotion fundraiser coming up.
Yes, we do.
Very soon.
Saturday
soon.
night.
This
Yes.
weekend.
Yes.
April 14th, says the poster.
Yes.
At the Old Lyme Country Club. Tell us about it. This is going to be terrific.
This is very exciting. We're bringing in 3 top-shelf, world-renowned jazz artists. They're legends, and they devoted their talent to our benefit. They have contributed their time and their talent and their weekend for us. They're longtime friends of mine because I used to have a jazz cabaret in New York City. So they said, "Do you need us to do a benefit?" And I said, yes. And they are so booked and so busy. We had scheduled it for the end of April, but one of our performers will be in Scotland and England next weekend. So it had to be April 14th, and we're using the beautiful Old Lyme Country Club because we had to find a venue that had a baby grand piano, as they're both pianists and songwriters and vocalists. They sing beautifully. They're the finest jazz and swing pianists I've ever heard, ever. And then they're accompanied by Boots Mallison. Their names are Ronnie White and Daryl Sherman. And Boots Mallison is just the coolest cat ever. He is the bass player of all bass players. He will have a solo on Saturday night. And I have never seen or heard a bass that can do what he makes it do. And people just scream at the end. He's thrilling, he's exciting. And the 3 of them together are just off the charts. And you come, if you want to drink before the show, at the bar at the Old Lyme Country Club, 6:15 to 7 is a happy hour, or just come for the concert at 7 o'clock. And then there's a complimentary wine and app reception to meet the artists after the concert. And to help support Theater under the Shell, it's only $35 a person for all that.
So we don't get a lot of that New York City talent up here, and you don't get jazz like we used to get.
Right.
And as a musician, I do appreciate that. What a great opportunity to grab a couple friends, go for the happy hour or go out to dinner somewhere and show up at the Old Lyme Country Club this Saturday night, April 14th, at Old Lyme Country Club at 7 p.m. and sit back and enjoy.
And the name of the concert is Swing into Spring.
It's supposed to be 70 degrees on Saturday.
It's going to bring 70 degrees. We're finally going to have a day of spring. I don't know about 2 days, but
it's a fitting location too. It's a beautiful room that you'll have there. It's not a pub by any means. It's a beautiful dining room.
It's intimate. It's lovely.
And great. So, and again, this is money that doesn't go anywhere, but support our arts in East Lyme. We need your support. We need to support the Theater Under the Shell because we want another summer where there's not just music going on, but maybe some other forms of art, like theater, a pop-up theater under the shell. Joyce, how did you get to be here in your life directing plays and musicals or plays? I don't think I've seen any musicals.
No, I do direct comedies.
Yeah, comedies. Yeah. How did you get to Theater Under the Shell? Where did that all start? Let's roll the tape. You mentioned you had a jazz cabaret in New York City.
I did, Chez Beauvais.
Wow.
Yeah, in Midtown. But I've been in theater my whole life. I started at 7. I think I did my first TV commercial at 7.
No kidding.
Yeah.
What was the product?
Stop and Shop.
No kidding.
Yes. Yeah.
Stop and Shop.
Yeah. And another one that I did, I think the same year, was the early precursor to Kool-Aid called Zarex.
I remember
you
Zarex.
You do? I don't believe
Wasn't there a zebra involved in Zarex?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I love Zarex. It's a syrupy thing.
Syrupy thing.
Great.
Yeah. And I went on to be an actor most of my life and lived in New York City for 29 years and was on the road all over the country, all over the world, doing comedies. I was a comedic principal actor.
Okay.
and dance minor in college, Boston Conservatory of Music and Drama major. And so whatever I've done in my life, there has to always be theater. And my mentor, Scotty Block, who's a great New York City Broadway and film actor, her family called on me to help her get through her later years. She's 93. And I came up from Florida, said I would, and that was 5 years ago. And so here I am taking care of someone that's a great mentor in my life and important to me, but I couldn't just do that. Had to get back, had to get theater cranking again.
Yeah.
So I started a theater group at the in Old Saybrook, and then I combined that and developed the East Lyme Players in East Lyme, and I do the Ivoryton Players in Ivoryton. And now we also are doing now Mystery Dinner Theater. So if anybody
Which
wants
is a
us to
big
do
hit.
that, huge hit.
Right.
So much fun. The next one we're going to do is going to have a 50s theme, and the audience has to come dressed like the 50s.
Really?
But my baby right now that I'm putting all my heart and soul into at the moment is Swing into Spring, the concert for Theater Under the Shell. I am so proud of it. It was such a thrilling summer last year with everyone bringing their picnics and it
what
was
a good
just
scene,
so,
right?
Oh, it was just so fantastic.
So the full
food truck.
moon, the full moon was coming up
Yes.
over
on the cooks.
the flagpole and the water, and shimmering on the water
Yeah.
as your group was finishing
Yes.
and taking their bows.
Yes.
And it was a magical moment.
It was so magic.
And you had
Yeah.
6 or 7 nights out there.
We did.
Yeah,
We
productions.
do it for a week because if it rains, we can't
Right.
refund your money. We just don't have a
Right.
show. And
Right.
we did have one rain night.
Yeah.
And this year we're going to do another production. We're so excited, but we can't do it without the support.
Are you ready to announce what the production is, or should you
No.
hold that?
I'm going to,
But
but they're going to laugh and love it.
okay, another comedy.
Yeah.
So fun for the family, and
Oh, yeah.
young adults would
Yeah.
enjoy it too.
Yeah.
And again, good scene to bring up a picnic up at McCook. So we have local restaurants that will put together picnics.
They
and-
will.
and you-
Lillian's did last
Yeah,
year, and
yeah.
Costello's did last
What
year.
a great idea.
And Tabitha, who owns Cafe Soul, was the star, one of the
She was
stars
the
of the
star.
show. Yes.
It's amazing. She kind of
Yes.
played a gypsy.
Madame
type.
Arcati,
Yes.
yes.
It was a gypsy type. And
Yes.
I always think of Tabitha as a gypsy
Right.
type anyway.
What was that, typecasting?
No kidding. Wonderful. So nice to know that another one is being planned. But you also have a production. You're in
Yes.
middle of
We're in rehearsal
trials,
for
right? Rehearsals.
East Lyme Players for that show, which is the second weekend, Friday night and Saturday matinee, the second weekend in June. And that play is called A Fitting Confusion, written by Georges Feydeau. It's a French farce written in 1886, and it is so hilarious that I cry during rehearsals because I'm laughing so hard. And it's a fully costumed show, so all the ladies are wearing bustles and the men are wearing top hats and
Oh,
tails.
Nice.
And it's all about the men trying to get the women and the married men trying to get the married women, and nobody ever gets anybody.
Anything. They all go home hungry.
They all go home hungry. But it is so hilarious. It's just, and the East Lyme Players, they have grown and grown in their talent and
Yes.
their skills, and I'm very excited with what they're doing.
They've grown in their skills because of their director. You've really put so much energy into this in your adopted new home.
Yes, for sure. I'm
You've
passionate
made
about
a
Niantic.
great difference in our community. I thank you. You're just a joy to know.
Oh, it's mutual.
And to see when people bring things to the table and make the place better. And we see that all over town. There's volunteers all over town that just do their thing and make it better. We have that volunteer corps that we've just announced and already have people signing up for different volunteer opportunities. There's opportunities within your organization for volunteerism.
We cannot do it without volunteers. We need about 20 volunteers. So
for any of your productions,
yeah.
in all of your productions.
And we will put an audition notice up for when we're going to be auditioning for Theater Under the Shell, and we audition for the tech and crew people as well as for the actors.
Oh, right.
All at the same time. And We want everybody on board in every way they can think of, even the ways I haven't thought of.
So that will come out, and we'll make those announcements that you're looking for volunteers. Right now, should we just hold off on
No, they can
encouraging
contact me. I'll
volunteer-
start a list for sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
How does one contact you?
They can contact me. Joyce is my name. Don't worry about the Beauvais.
There it is. There it is at the bottom of the screen,
Oh,
right
there
there.
it is.
See?
Yes.
Okay. Good job, MJ.
Shoreline Drama at gmail.com. Shoreline Drama at gmail.com.
That's awesome.
And I'll answer
just-
any questions.
Great.
Yeah,
Great.
take their names.
I might send you a couple. I could just send you some funny emails or something.
Okay.
You know, some jokes.
And also, there is a Facebook page, Theater Under the Shell. You can put your comments on Facebook.
Right.
And there's also an East Lyme Players and a Shoreline Drama page.
Sure. So busy, so active. So
And
as soon as-
Ivoryton Players, but that's in Ivoryton.
Yeah, we won't talk about that. No. So you're gonna have this play that you're working on right now.
Yes.
There'll be that French farce.
Yes.
That nobody gets anything.
Yeah.
And they, sorry, and that wraps in June.
Right.
And my guess is you probably
A week
go
later, I go right
to
into it.
work.
Yeah, I
Getting
go
ready
the
for
next-
Theater
yeah.
Under the Shell.
We'll probably be auditioning the exact week after we close
Right.
Fitting Confusion.
Amazing. How do you do it?
That I don't have an answer.
Labor of love, I guess, right?
Well,
Keeps
it
you
is a
going
passion.
and all that.
And
Yeah.
I have a passion for Niantic. It's so beautiful, Mark. And starting the day on the boardwalk, you know, and then looking at the bandshell when I'm walking back on the boardwalk, I have goosebumps just thinking about it.
I
I
know.
love this town. I
Yeah.
really love it.
It's a great thing.
And you're a great first selectman.
Oh, I paid her to say that.
No,
I paid her to say that.
I've learned it the hard way. I know it is.
Thank you for that. It's and I started the show today saying what a pleasure it is just to be part of this. And you know, I have a career that's on hold right now. I have great people working in my business, so I can afford the time to do this. But so many people, like your productions, so many people come together. We have great department heads and great people that just step up and volunteer, whether it's elected, appointed, or just nonprofit or whatever. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
So my brush with fame is knowing Joyce.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
But Joyce, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Brush with fame. Tell us a story. If you've been involved with theater and commercials when you were 7 or however young you were, I mean, what's the big thrill? What would be the big story that you would tell someone about?
Well, it's kind of a sad story.
Well, we have
it's
5
a
minutes
story.
left, so it's got to be a
I have
3-minute
millions
story.
of them.
A 3-minute
But
sad story.
I was a new actress in New York City. I'd been in theater in New England my whole life. And then I went to New York City right out of college, and I was 21 and passionate about theater. I ended up having to do commercials and soap operas and movies, but I wasn't at all interested, very small-minded, very young, very naive to think that I was only going to do theater.
Right.
So I got a manager and an agent right away because I was already an equity actor, and I got a call to go up to the Bronx for a movie. A movie? No, I'm not interested.
Right.
I didn't ask what the movie was, what the role was, and I went up and they had cameras and they just asked me to talk about myself, and I did. And I think William Morris was the agent that sent me up. And I still didn't ask anything about it. And I left to go to my next theater audition. And I got a call back. And I was told that it was down to 2 people nationwide out of 200 that they were considering. And the woman that got the role, who came with an entourage, had studied, wanted to know all about the movie, was Diane Keaton, and the movie was The Godfather.
Oh my.
So
Goodness.
if I had asked, what is this about, and what is the role, I might have been Al Pacino's girlfriend.
How about that?
Yeah, that's a sad story.
Oh, a near miss.
a really bad
We all
miss.
have those,
Hard lesson to learn.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I have a hard time watching The Godfather
about
to this
that?
day.
Yeah, I bet. So here I am with someone who was a finalist and you were that good in your
Yeah.
prime.
Yeah.
Not that today isn't your prime.
No.
But in your young career.
Yes, I was really good, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How neat.
Yeah, but I miss
awesome.
acting. I'm hoping to get a chance to act again. You know,
Yeah.
I'm so busy directing.
I know.
But one of these days,
What
I'd
a
like to act
passion.
again.
Let's wrap up. Swing into Spring
Yes.
is this Saturday, April 14th. And
Ronnie
we're gonna go
White.
to the old Lyme Country Club here. Jazz greats coming up from New York City that are personal friends of Joyce and are willing to donate their time, their weekend so that Joyce can put on theater under the shell. And the stars in the full moon this summer. So let's go support that. That's this Saturday, the 14th at 7 p.m. Old Lyme Country Club. You should get tickets early, right?
You can reserve at 860-739-5859. It's general seating. Come for the happy hour. Save your seat. Or ask me to save it for you, and I will. We only have about 100 seats, so they're going fast. So it's limited seating, so I would call now or come to the door.
Yeah.
And
We'll squeeze you in.
We'll squeeze
If
you
you're
in.
coming,
We'll
we're gonna
find
get
a way.
in there.
You
I
betcha.
know the fire marshal. Never
Yeah.
mind. Old Lyme Country Club, 7 o'clock on the 14th. That's the Saturday. It's going to be a beautiful day. It'll be a great way to end the day, the great spring day. Joyce Beauvais.
Yay.
I had to read your name because I was going to make you Jacqueline Bouvier.
Yeah, people do that a lot,
You
too.
get that
Yeah.
a lot, I bet.
I
So,
do.
especially from Irish English guys. Pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Mark.
What a great person you are in Niantic. We're so thankful that you're part of our town.
Thank you
that
so
you do
much.
so much for us. My name is Mark Nickerson. I'm the first selectman of East Lyme, and what a pleasure it is to be your first selectman. This is Issues and Answers. We'll see you next time.